Hey out there, wherever you are, I want you to be yourself, to enjoy yourself. But there's one issue, and this is you. You are standing in your own way, and a lot of others as well. What we call society. And in order that you can really accept love and enjoy yourself, be yourself and express yourself this way as you are, we need to talk about that thing, about society, also psychology a little bit, mass psychology, and how to work around this. And this is by using our attention. In this whole spiritual journey or life itself, attention is, if not the only thing that we really got under control, and it's so valuable, more valuable than money, status, whatsoever. It's really important to realize this. And let's start with some just misconceptions in general psychology. There is this collective belief that the way I perceive the world is the same as others perceive the world. That I think, okay, today is a beautiful day, everyone else will perceive it the same way, but this is bullshit. But we are really convinced that this is the way things are and things need to be, should be. When a lot of people think that way, this is how values, expectations are created by society. So I think that the way I perceive the world is the same how society is perceiving the world. Huge misconception. It's not. It is just a perception, just a thought, but it becomes very real in combination with emotions such as fear, guilt, and shame. Those three little bitches that are being used by society. When this perception, those collective beliefs and thoughts, even if they're bullshit, even if you can somehow see through them, there's still a lot of societal pressure. And if your perception differs from the whole, from the mass, mostly shame arises, or guilt. You feel ashamed that you are doing something different, and this different is being interpreted or judged as wrong. It's just different, not more. Because you're an individual, you are different than the others. Everyone is different. And that's good. But shame will be kind of created, or guilt and fear, those three things, when your perception differs. And when the anxiety kicks in and you try to protect yourself and you kind of merge with the masses again, with the mass, it's really like a strong pull. Like the people themselves, they can't even feel it. They're trying to pull you back, that you're safe with them, that you're kind of the same when you merge with them. But the price is that you lose your individuality. You need to compromise. And if you're quite sensitive, awake, this will hurt and you will suffer. And in turn, you have this fake, what I like to call the mask, a suicidal, you could also say, not just societal, personality. It's fucking dead. And you can see it in the faces of those people that are just like sleeping and walking around. But you are merging with them. You need to compromise. Or do you? You don't. But it's really difficult to kind of work against this. Yeah, it's like a gravitation, like a really strong pull. And the responsibility of the individual at least I feel like, is being collectivized, yeah, more and more. And instead of having also your own responsibility, you give it away and give it to something bigger, to society, politicians, to a bigger body. And this bigger body, the society, it has expectations that you should behave a certain way. And if you don't, boy, you're going to get into trouble. And also you have expectations to the society that they earn you something, that they give you something in return. Safety, money, from other people, love, comfort, whatsoever. But if you see through this whole bullshit, this game, no one earns you anything. No one earns you a single fucking penny. If you can stand up for yourself, be responsible for yourself. If you can't, you need to hang out with the masses. There's nothing wrong to go into a marketplace, to merge with them. But if you depend on them, it's going to hurt. Or if you slowly start to realize, actually I do not depend on them, but you're not fully not dependent on them, still attached somehow. And you're a part of it always, whether you're awake or not, whether you can see it or not. A lot of tension and suffering can kind of arise when you're kind of not really in but not really out, in terms of attachment. And that's the fucked up thing. When you compromise, you start doing things that you don't want to do, sometimes even weird things, where you feel like this doesn't feel right, but you do it because of pressure. And this is bullshit. And I don't want you to do this. I want you to be yourself. And those certain values that are being created and expectations from society, they're so fucking old school, but still, sometimes you can't even grasp them. It's just like Jung, like he called them, it's like some kind of camouflage, like a reality, those beliefs that are being created, like some kind of camouflage, and people who are kind of aware of it, they can kind of use it and manipulate it and change it to the way they want it to be. So those people who realize the individual power in that system, they can kind of recreate it and use it. Or you can also step out of it if you have the guts. But once you start to see, really to directly experience, not just to rationally understand, but to really see how that system works and how it's pulling you in. It's disgusting. You don't really want to be a part of it. You don't want to be touched and influenced by it. Doesn't matter whether it's religious, scientific, political, you always need to compromise. If you kind of subordinate to this collective mentality, but why are we doing this? Because we want things. We want to be seen as a good person. We want to be acknowledged, to be seen, or whatsoever. We are striving to have a positive self-image. And we can get this from other people. and we start not being ourselves, just looking outside at other people, evaluating social situations. How should I behave? What should I say in order to get this in return? And you're just looking for cues and you can't really be yourself and live. Or you can do the same thing, a little society is your family, and you should fulfill your parents' needs. Every child wants to be loved. You want to make them happy, your mom, make your dad proud. And the best way how to achieve this is by mastering all those gratification patterns that your parents chose, but they didn't master. Same goes for society. You're being viewed as great if you become a doctor, a lawyer, if this is what your parents or society wants you to be, but they didn't master it. You can also manipulate people that way, but in the end you can't be yourself. Even when you manipulate, it's a fucking compromise, but people don't realize it. I don't want to manipulate to influence people, I just want to be myself, enjoy myself. Anything else is just settling for less than yourself. And I want you to see through this illusion, through those mental filters, those barriers. But therefore you kind of need to see what role you are playing in this whole game, because you're participating, you're part of it. You're feeding the system. This is you right now. And everyone is doing it. And then it just becomes normal, and everyone is so fucked up and so depressed and so unhappy and just trying to people please and whatsoever. But yeah, it's normal, and if you are different, then something is wrong with you. I want you to listen to yourself, not to others. Or listen to others, but don't believe everything what they say. Find out for yourself. There's so many people with, let's say, impure agendas, personal agendas, that will try to manipulate you. In times of crisis, values like security and wealth, they become so important, and you can see how people start clinging to them. And then there's always some kind of threat. And when society, politicians, whoever, they offer you a solution for that threat. There is not enough money, we provide you with wealth. There is some kind of danger, a threat, a war, a virus, some enemies, we're going to have a solution. And you can see how it's so easy to influence, manipulate people if the fear comes into play. And even if you're seeing through and you're doing something different, then guilt and shame is being used because you do something else. But in the end, I also feel sorry for those masses, for the people, because they don't know what they're doing. To you as an individual, to themselves as an individual, they can't really see it. They don't know. They are dead. So what should you expect from them? No politician can help you. Only yourself. And if you take this responsibility and step into it, into this power, you can think for yourself. You can say, no, thank you. I can feel and think and live for myself. I don't need you. And people will be puzzled and surprised, like, what the fuck? Yeah, I can live for myself. I don't need you. And they will look at you like, what the fuck? Because they're surprised that you can be so free, so authentic, being yourself without being overly dependent on others. In romantic relationships, in society, in family systems, politicians, you don't need all those other people, only if you think you need them. The only thing that you need is some fresh air, something to eat, something to drink, a nice view on the balcony. But we don't need others that kind of stimulate your fears and start redirecting your attention. And this is the last point, how you need to work through this. The only thing that you have is attention. When people want you to buy certain things, they tell you you need this, you need that, creating fear, insecurities, redirecting your attention from yourself to external objects. So attention is the only thing that you have under control. Right now, what am I doing? I'm shifting my attention from outside, from all those things that society is telling you to do, that you need, that you should do, how much you should earn, how your wife should look like, your family, your income, your friends, your way of living. Forget this. Look inside. Breathe. Redirect your attention and feel how you are so rich, so abundant, how you've got everything, that you don't need anything from others. You don't need anyone besides yourself. And it feels safe in your body, really comfortable, warm, smooth. There is nothing that is missing, that is lacking, that you need. You don't need to compromise, to do anything for others. If you stand yourself in your own way, only say yes to others if it's a yes towards yourself, but don't merge with the masses if it doesn't feel right. Just close your eyes, see through that bullshit and redirect your attention and see what you really want, what you want to strive for, you as an individual, but fuck all those organizations. Maybe not even fuck them, like that you kind of get in a fight. Just let them do what they want to do. If they want to do this, let them do. But you don't need to deal with that. If it doesn't serve you, just let go. If other people doesn't serve you, are harming you, let go of them. You can do it. You are worthy of being wealthy, of feeling well, of being loved by yourself, by life. You don't need anything else. And once you stop measuring the span and fulfillment of life in years, or money, or status, your perspective on what a fulfilling life is will change drastically. Once a person changes the measurement of the span of life from numbers to every moment that was perceived, sensed, tasted, and lived, to the fullest, with that amount of awareness, one is able to sustain the experience of life. Itself will change. You're able to sustain yourself, and everything will be different. The way you work, you laugh. The way you laugh, the way you think, the way you interact with others. You can interact with others, merge with the mass, but not because you need it, but you're just flowing along. And if anxiety and fear will kick in, redirect your attention, set your intention, and live from that place. And after a while you will feel more comfortable. Others can feel it, and they can kind of grow in your environment, in this energy, because you are yourself less contracted. But in the masses you need to adapt. That's the price that you need to pay.